Well, here we have the cylinder head blank, all mounted up in the lathe. Looks like about a 4 1/4 by 3/4 or so. Yep, about 4 1/4 diameter, 3/4 inch thick. So what we'll do, I have a little circle marked. Gonna take about 1/4 inch material off down to about that diameter. That way we can flip it and start working on the recess and the chamber. But we'll get this set up, get started turning on it. All right. Do a nice light cut, face off the whole thing. We'll get close to our diameter here. And once I have a little bit of a step going, I'll be able to face off the rest of it. But that's just a rough idea of how big I wanted it. Something like that. Get a full cleanup pass here. Now these are actually water jet drops out of a water jet table. So they're not completely true and round. I'm sure I don't have it chucked up because there is a little bit of an angle on the curve. But this is what we have. Works real nice to make head blanks out of. And I can get them for like $4 or $5 a piece online. Well, that still didn't quite clean it up fully. Alright, looks like we got full cleanup there. So that'll work. I'll thin it out till I have a nice step that I can grab onto here. Alright, now here's the base gasket. So let's see. Alright, not too far. So what we'll do, take this out, and we'll be able to hold it from the center nub. So we'll take this out, we'll be able to hold it from that center nub, and we'll be able to shape and size the other side. And that'll be perpendicular to what we got here. Alright, now we got it. We'll face this side off. We'll turn the diameter to about what we need. So all we really need is enough material to hold these 4 bolt holes. So that's about where we'll stop. got it faced, everything's round, everything's perpendicular. Let's see, just kind of eyeball that. So it looks like I can take another good bit off this OD. See how that looks. Toasty. Getting closer. Take another couple cuts off there. Then we can start making our step and our chamber. Alright, so I whipped up this little chamber cutter, radius cutter, whatever you want to call it. Got a piece of plastic in here to test it out. I've already done a couple cuts, but I wanted to show everybody how it worked, or how it's supposed to work. So we'll make a couple more tests, figure out what we want, then we'll put our head blank back in and whittle on that. You get the idea, just real light cuts, swing the tool bit in the arc, and that creates a hemispherical type chamber. Get this out of the way, see a little bit better. Now this isn't a super robust tool. You're not going to be able to take everything out in one swipe, but it should do the trick to whittle on our head, get our chamber deep enough for the volume we want, still have a nice squish band, then we'll put the plug in. I just want to show off this little tool we whipped up. I've got the fancy one, but there's too many different setups with this. Built this one to where we could put it right in our tool. It's the same setup height as our other tool bits. Just a high-speed steel cutter, spins around like so. So we'll try it out on some aluminum, but I think some light cuts will do just what we need. Alright, I almost forgot about you guys. But we got our little cutter in here. I'm learning as we go, so bear with me. But I've got my measurements, and we'll get our chamber all cut. We're about 100 thou in, about halfway. So we'll get this finished up, and hopefully it turns out right. A little bit wonky there, but let me bring you back once I get a little bit closer. My handle decided to leave the chat, so the old vice grips had to come save the day. But that chamber is where we want it. That's going to be the size. I'll polish it up a little bit. Now I just need to cut my O-ring groove, and we'll be ready to add the bolt holes, plug hole, and double check the squish. But this should be pretty close, and that should give us plenty of compression on this here racer. So wish me luck with the rest of it. You can see and fits in there pretty good. Groove for an O-ring. This will go down into the cylinder. That's our squish band. That'll be our chamber. Now we'll pull this out and drill it and tap it for a 10mm spark plug. Then we got to put our bolt pattern in for the base, and this head will be pretty much done. Alright, here's our mostly finished head. We still need to mill the sides flat in the back. You can see right there. Oh, we got our plug seated in nice. I'll polish up this chamber a bit more. I changed the height on my cutter and didn't work out like I wanted. But we got our O-ring groove. We'll mill it flat on these black lines. And then we'll get our O-ring material all put in the groove and fitted. I'm going to do this one-handed, a little difficult. With this O-ring, what I've had good luck with is putting a real good tail where they meet up and then jamming it together, and then when it's pinched down it won't go past the angle cut. So we can seal both sides of the O-ring. Like I said, the inside of that chamber got a little rough. Tool was just a bit too high, but the plug came in nice. And we should be able to tuck that underneath the cover, not have an exposed plug. But I just want to show what goes into making one of these two-piece heads. We'll call this part 2 of building our 361 racer. And once my bolts show up, we'll get it running on gasoline, and then we'll start working on a nitro carb. But that'll be next time, and as always, thanks for watching, everyone.